how would you, if you could be associated with one thing, how would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. Most important thing is my faith in my life.
So this is a tough video to make. Charlie Kirk obviously was very influential in terms of getting out the youth vote and spreading conservatism throughout this nation and getting Donald Trump elected in 2024. All right. And here we've reached what seems to be relatively new highs in political violence. I mean, obviously, they went after Donald Trump. And when I say they, I mean crazy people who've been radicalized by politics to the point where they want to stop someone from having a different opinion. Okay, and even though we don't know who the shooter is yet, it looks like the investigation is still open as of this moment. I think we're going to find that this, of course, is political assassination, as Governor Cox from Utah mentioned yesterday. And I hope this person or persons are found and tried quickly and speedily in the public eye, because this type of action is, of course, completely unacceptable. Okay, but of course, recently, these actions seem to have been bent towards people on the right. And a lot of this can be blamed kind of towards the rhetoric that's been going on, that we've been seeing recently. And I want to start with a clip from Scott Jennings basically saying, you know, is this safe for conservatives at this point in time to be out in the public square?
I'm on from 2 to 3, so I had just come on to do my show, and about halfway through it, we got the news that Charlie had been shot, and so I had to talk through it this afternoon. And I'll be honest with you, I am in utter disbelief at this. I sat in this room last summer, the night they shot the president, and now they shot Charlie. And I'm not sure it's safe to be an outspoken conservative walking around in America right now. And there's a lot of people out there who are in absolute shock and are horrified by this. And I don't know what's going to happen other than to tell you that this nation is in desperate need of prayer and some kind of an intervention, because when you can't, I mean, what was Charlie doing? Making a speech, engaging in rhetoric, having a debate. That's the bedrock of our nation. And now you can't go out in public and engage in speech. It's the opposite of violence. Speech is the opposite.
And that seems to me to at least be the basis of all of this, all right? Whoever performed this act was trying to stop discourse, was trying to stop Charlie Kirk's message. And what did Charlie Kirk do? He was a pundit, right? He was a commentator. He would go around to news networks on his own show and other things and just talk politics, right? He had his own personal beliefs. And someone didn't like those beliefs, and therefore they went after him. Now, of course, we're going to talk about the fomentation of all that in a second, but this is where we're currently at in American politics, and it's really sad. It's very extreme. And talking this over with friends and family, it's like we're going back and forth between, you know, complete and utter sadness to rage. You know, what are we supposed to do about this? Your average, everyday Americans, because we definitely don't want to start an open conflict about this type of thing, because that's a fight the left definitely does not want. So it's up to the Democrat leadership to go out there and tamp this down. Say, hey, maybe we've gone too far. Maybe we have to stop calling everybody Hitler and Nazis and the worst people ever, because obviously if they were the worst people ever, then you would do whatever means necessary to stop them, which, by the way, is a chant of the left. Okay, and over here, if we go to townhall.com, you can see that in the House, we had Lauren Boebert actually request a prayer for Charlie Kirk, you know, give them this moment of silence. And then what do the Democrats do? They come out and say, oh, no, we're going to shout that down, right? We definitely don't want to do that on the House floor. A very popular and well-known political figure was assassinated, obviously over politics. And you don't want to take a second for prayer or silence just to say, you know what, maybe it's gone a bit too far. But this, of course, is the state of the radical left, in my opinion. But of course, if you talk to the leftists, if you talk to the Democrats, it's all on our side.
It is awful on both sides at times, right? And today, of course, on Capitol Hill, you've had anger and outrage and frustration by everyone. Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren was asked about, you know, some of the Republicans out there who came out and said it's Democrats. They need to lower the temperature. That is the problem here. She responded to that with this.
Oh, please. Right. Why don't you start with the President of the United States, right? And every ugly meme he has posted and every ugly word.
So when confronted about her own party's radicalism, what is Senator Elizabeth Warren's response? Oh, start with the president. What does Donald Trump do except for go out there and call people stupid, all right, and try to enforce federal law? Okay, he's not calling for violence against anyone, but that seems to be a common mantra from the left, who, by the way, have been celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassinations with all of their posts on the internet.
So I'm going to be very fucking clear about this so that you know exactly where I stand. And I will say this with my whole entire chest. There are some people on this app that are sitting there saying, oh, you shouldn't wish death upon any person, no matter what side they're on. Fuck that. Fuck that. Charlie Kirk was a fucking Nazi. He was a fucking Nazi. And you know what kind of Nazi is the best Nazi? A dead one.
Fucking stoked right now. You want to know why I'm so fucking stoked? Go ahead and Google Charlie Kirk. Go ahead.
So these are just your average everyday leftists who have been brainwashed into thinking that Charlie Kirk was anything other than a conservative commentator, someone who stood up for religion and freedom and the Constitution in this nation. All right. You disagree with him politically. And then, of course, you get brainwashed into this cult that think that he's some type of dangerous individual out there, that he's going to somehow try to destroy your life and take away your freedoms. All right. And now you're celebrating his death because of political differences. All right. This is ghoulish behavior. But do we really expect anything different? For years, I've been quoting Charles Krauthammer, right? We think the left is dumb, but they think we're evil. And when they think we're evil, they can do anything to us. And now we're starting to see that type of mindset take root. But I do want to end with this, right? The assassination of Charlie Kirk is not going to stop the conservative movement, all right? I actually do worry about Turning Point USA because obviously who can fill Charlie Kirk's shoes, all right? He basically is that organization, and that organization is wildly influential in terms of spreading conservatism and activating the youth politically. All right. And I hope that organization can continue. And I hope someone does rise up to actually fill his shoes. He will be greatly missed. And I do want to end on this note with Donald Trump going ahead and giving a very solemn address from the Oval Office over the situation.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed, because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory, may God watch over his family, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.